Your story. Now, Phillip Schutte, pointed out by Bonakele Pakisi as the one who threw out 15-year-old Matlhomola Moshoeu from a moving vehicle on the 20th of April last year, did not testify today as was expected. Instead, the case was postponed to September as the defence wants to call expert witnesses to testify before Schutte is put on the stand. Our reporter Nicolene Smalman has been following the story.
Good afternoon from the Northwest High Court in Mahikeng, where proceedings came to a rather abrupt halt. The trial was scheduled to run until tomorrow, but was unexpectedly postponed to September. It was disappointing in the sense that we had hoped that Schutte, who the eyewitness Bonakele Pakisi alleged had thrown Matlhomola off the bakkie, would start to testify. But the case was postponed as the defence wanted to call a cell phone expert and a doctor to testify before calling Schutte to the stand. Doorewart started to testify yesterday, and we heard that he deemed it fit to go straight to the police station after having realised that Matlhomola had presumably jumped, as the police in Coligny often didn't answer their calls or had vehicles available to attend to scenes. The state continued to grill Doorewart this morning, with State Prosecutor Advocate Rapula Molefe repeating many of yesterday's questions. It was as if he was trying to prompt some sort of response from Doorewart, putting to him that he viewed him as a reasonable human being. He wanted to know if Doorewart agreed that Matlhomola's death was tragic, and why he didn't convey his condolences to the boys' parents after the incident. On which Doorewart replied that because of the violent protest action the boys' death had sparked in Coligny, it wasn't possible for him to do so. Molefe also put to him that in the light of the fact that the sunflower Matlhomola had presumably stolen was basically worthless, that Doorewart would agree that his death was therefore unnecessary. He also put it to Doorewart that it had sparked unnecessary racial division within the town of Coligny. The defence then objected, and Molefe refrained from this type of questioning. Denying that he had ever seen Pakisi before the incident, Molefe wanted to know from Doorewart why Pakisi would fabricate his version that he put to court, on which Doorewart replied that Pakisi might have heard stories within the community that he lives before concocting the version that he put before court. Doorewart testified that farmers in the area had suffered great financial losses because of crop theft, and that he had opened several cases of theft pertaining to these type of incidents. Molefe then wanted to know from Doorewart if he was not frustrated when he finally apprehended Matlhomola and wanted to make an example out of him, in the light of the fact that his previous attempts to seek justice did not yield any results. Doorewart denied this. The state didn't oppose the defence's request for Doorewart to be handed back his passport so that he could travel to Lesotho in August, where he wants to attend a family gathering. And the trial was then postponed to the 3rd of September and has been scheduled to run until the 7th of that month. Hopefully we will see Schutte on the witness stand during that time, and hopefully he will be able to shed more light on what actually transpired on the morning of 20 April last year. Back to the studio.